Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. So today, in this webinar, we'll be seeing about UAE e-invoicing readiness. And I'm Siddharth, the founding member of Compliance. And we have Karthik with us. So, hey, Karthik, just give a brief about yourself.
Hey, thanks, Siddharth. This is Karthik. I'm working for Compliance as an indirect tax expert. So, I majorly deal in indirect taxation products or specifically e-invoicing products for compliance.
Okay, so we are happy to have you all with us as we dive into the key insights and best practices into how businesses and teams can navigate the UAE invoicing landscape with a proper roadmap and a phased approach. Right. So, without further ado, let's start the webinar. So, first, we'll see why this webinar matters. So, if you see, most of the businesses in the UAE have not yet aligned their teams or their business towards the e-invoicing mandate, right? So, for businesses to prepare and align themselves to e-invoicing mandate, they need a lot of time. So, most of the companies they need more than 6 to 9 months to align their team. So many companies think that less time or starting next year might be enough to go live with e-invoicing, but that might not be true. We have, with our customers' experience, we have seen that 40% smoother go live is achieved if they start early. So what might be at stake for businesses is that if we don't achieve e-invoicing go live, FTA might give penalties. That is one thing. The next thing is there will be business disruption. Due to last minute scramble of all the teams, the core business gets affected. And the third thing is, as a customer also might be expecting invoices and for their internal audit and internal processes, the customer relation and might be affected with your company. And the fourth thing is your internal audit team, because of not having proper tax data, they will also not be able to do tax filing and other tax related activities, and the audit might be a failure. So these are what is at stake. So in this webinar, what you will get is you will get a, proper roadmap and insights on how to avoid these mistakes and go live with e-invoicing in a smooth manner. So moving forward, what you'll walk away with this webinar is first is the actionable checklist. So with this webinar, what you'll get it you will get a company wise structured e-invoicing checklist or process checklist which you can use for going live with e-invoicing. The next thing is the strategic insights. So you see many companies make common mistakes and they fall into time crunches due to lack of information and lack of proper planning. So we will explain what are the common mistakes that businesses face and how to overcome that. As well, we will also explain how you can select a vendor based on your analysis or your requirements. And the third thing is you will get insights for long-term success and a future perspective of securedness and scalability. So for long-term success, as e-invoicing is not a one-time activity, but rather a continuous process because of the continuous mandates given by the government and the technological updates from the ASPs or the provider side. For long-term success, we'll also give the roadmap of how to achieve long-term success in a systematic way. So going forward, I will ask Karthik to explain the basics of e-invoicing and proceed further as the webinar goes. Over to you, Karthik.
Okay, I'll take it from the basics. How this e-invoicing has started and how it will create an impact on particular customer's business. So earlier, when there was a paper-based e-invoicing, customer used to create an invoice using their ERP. And then they used to take a soft copy and email it in the form of PDF to their customers. Or they used to even take a hard copy and do a physical handover to the customers, which will in return will result in manual filing of their VAT returns or tax returns. Whereas coming to this digital era or e-invoicing era, here people can just submit their ERP invoice data to an ASP like us. So once the ASP receives invoice data, they can generate, they can first validate, they will first validate the data, and then they'll generate the XML that is in pint AE format, and then submit it to FTA for clearance. So once FTA submission is done, parallelly or post FTA submission, we can also submit it or send it to the customer across PayPal network itself instead of sending it over emails or physical handover. So this is one thing. And second part, how a customer or how a business can check their e-invoicing readiness. So first thing, their system should be ready. Like a customer or a business has to check if their ERP output, e-invoicing output is in line with PINT AE standards, and they have to check if all the fields are in line with PINT AE fields, and also they have to check the data readiness, like the tax registration numbers and VAT rules, or audit trail, everything, is it supporting and is it in line with PINT AE form, standards. And then people readiness. So are all the teams involved in invoicing, let's say tax, IT, finance, or admin, in fact, the one who take care of IT admin part, are these people ready with all the necessary infrastructure, including resources and also proper training? And then process. So companies has to set an updated workflow process for e-invoicing. They have to streamline the customer onboarding process and submitting the invoices, or generating the invoices and submitting it to FTA. So only if all these four are in place, like system, process, people, and workflows, that too, if these can be done or get ready in time, then we can say their invoicing system is ready. And coming to phase by phase timelines, there are four phases. So one is foundation. First, I would say if someone, or I would suggest to, I'll suggest, sorry. Yeah. So I would suggest businesses to start their invoicing getting readiness from now itself. Let's say if business start building up their invoice infrastructure from October, a plan should look like this. Like in the month of October and November, businesses has to form a invoicing committee or a invoicing team within the system. They have to audit their systems, check the systems if they are in line or updated necessarily, and select an accredited service provider or a vendor within UAE, and that who got accredited from FTA within 30 days. And also they have to define necessary metrics that they can, that can help them in succeeding their invoicing setup. And the next thing will be development. So in the month of December and Jan, they have to build the contract with ASPs, clean their master data, and map ERP fields. First of all, identify optional and mandatory fields, and then map the ERP fields to Pint AE fields, and then develop APIs accordingly, and then train teams on developments and testings. And then testings. So in the month of February and March, you can run a rigorous end-to-end testings. Let it be smoke testing, unit testing, and also very much important is the load testing. So you have to do a load testing with your real-time volume of invoices. And then you will have time in the month of April and May for going or for preparing for going live. So there you can certify your teams, launch customer campaigns, do a final optimizations, establish some war rooms if there are any requirements or if there are any technical issues. And then in the month of June and July, you will be ready to go live, which will be like that will be the first phase of go live, where you can set out your phased rollout, 30 days pre-mandate and 24 cross support. And you can also set out your real-time monitoring, achieve full compliance by July 2026 deadline. Following, I would now jump into each team's knowledge. Let's say hardly we will see 3 to 4 teams who are involved in this. If you think this is just a one team's job, then again you're going to make a big mistake. So the teams that will be involved ideally into invoicing setup or infrastructure is, first thing is finance team. So the role of finance team majorly would be first cleaning up their master data. Let it be tax registration number master data or seller master data, including their registered addresses, business addresses, everything. and buyer master data, like customer master data, and line items master data, including the tax categories, unit codes, I mean units of measurement codes, etc. Everything it would come under master data cleanup, or completely, if they don't have a master data by this time, better start building it. By finance team, and then process redesign, and then get ready for system integration, and get ready for go live preparation. Okay. So when I say system integration or process redesign or go live preparation, it's like test your ERP e-invoice generation with Pint AE format requirements, and validate the real-time invoice submission and acknowledgement receipts. Establish key performance indicators like are you going to submit 99.9% of your invoices? I mean, the success rate is 99.9%. And are you able to submit your invoices within less than 2 minutes time frame? And also, let's say if the process redesigning means map your current invoicing workflows to the new invoicing requirements, and define B2B, B2G, export, domestic, and all other document or transaction types that are covered in Pint AE standards. And update your chart of accounts and cost centers for e-invoicing compliance. And complete your team training on new workflows and exceptional handling. Test your customer communication templates and support procedures. Establish daily monitoring procedures for invoice submission status. So this is with regards to finance team. Whereas for tax team, few of the responsibilities finance team will share with the tax team, kind of mapping all current VAT treatments to Pint AE XML standards, test all VAT scenarios against Pint AE validation rules, uh, create validation rules for tax calculations and line item breakups, review FTA announcements regularly, and try to not try to incorporate those changes in the app day by day, or regularly or very frequently, and establish relationship with ASPs for compliance guidance and support. Train your team on new compliance or new updates, any whatever it comes up, and establish error escalation procedures with IT and ASP support teams. And next part is audit trail and documentation. So tax team has to take care of audit trail requirements for all e-invoicing transactions. And also they have to create retention policies for invoices, acknowledgements, and system logs, and prepare templates for FTA inquiries and audit response procedures. And the last one for tax team checklist would be ongoing compliance. So tax team has to monitor regularly changes and update procedures accordingly, maintain up-to-date tax code mappings and business rule validations, conduct quarterly compliance reviews and system health checks. And now the major part, and who, even though you hire a vendor, your IT team and ERP team should be very much aware and be active in doing a system assessment, testing and optimizing the systems or procedures in place, and developments and integrations, and checking the product readiness. So diving deep into this. So IT team and ERP team should be able to audit their current ERP system, XML generation capabilities, assess API integration capabilities, evaluate network infrastructure for increased transaction volumes, review security standards, and ensure all necessary documents, kind of ISO 27001 or SOC 2 security compliance. Document current invoice data flow process and integration points, and then testing, complete sandbox testing with all invoice types and scenarios, conduct performance testing under high volume transaction loads, and map all ERP invoice fields to Pint AE XML schema requirements, develop API connections with selected ASPs for submission and status checking, and configure production environment with security controls and monitoring, set up 24/7 alerting and escalation procedures, train support team on troubleshooting and issue resolution, establish SLAs with ASPs that which I already mentioned. Even finance and tax teams should also be aware of this, like 99.9% uptime and 4 hours critical response time for issues. Well, when I say all these, few questions that users or listeners might come up in their brain, like, do we really need to stop all other projects to focus on e-invoicing? No, not needed, but we have to set up enough teams. I mean, we have to set up mature teams like finance, IT, and ERP teams, or any other team that is necessary. And a cross-functional or cross-team collaboration should be there. And every team should be trained enough parallelly with any other project. And also, like, I would like to see how do we assess our current readiness level? Is there any scoring system? Yes, we as a service provider, Compliance, we built a scoring checklist. So we have prepared it in the form of a handbook. We will be releasing it. You can use it to score on your e-invoicing readiness level, which will really help you evaluate everything, like in terms of finance team, IT team, ERP team, tax team, finance, everything. Well, moving on to the next part, common mistakes that any company would do while planning for e-invoicing readiness. Planning and timeline mistakes. Let's say, starting from now, first phase will be in July 2026. So since it's September, we'll have almost, let's say 9 months. People would take it like, okay, still we have 9 months and we can do it like in the last 4 months or 5 months. But no, that will trigger a lot of issues in the last minute. So it's better we start it early instead of underestimating the complexity and not skipping the pilot testing for volume full go live that you're going to face in your production environment, and not ignoring your change management while focusing only on technical aspects and technical implementation mistakes that we have seen in our previous experiences. Choosing an ASP only on the basis of price instead of their technical capabilities, or integrating with clumsy master data or incomplete tax codes, or over engineering custom solutions instead of going with a proven middleware, or inadequate testing covering only happy paths while missing the edge cases. And coming to organizational mistakes, working in silos, especially this is a very big mistake that most of the companies would do, like finance team, tax team, IT team working independently instead of working collaboratively, and providing one-time training instead of doing an ongoing development, and lacking governance structure with clear ownership, and creating vendor dependency without internal expertise. And compliance mistakes, misunderstanding requirements by focusing on XML format without business rule implications, poor audit preparation, surprising customers with new formats without onboarding them, and no backup procedures for system or ASP failures.
Okay, that's great, Karthik. So coming to the vendor selection questions, so I'll be covering few of the main questions that you need to be asking your ASP or your vendor before you onboard them to your business, right? For e-invoicing or for go live. So the first thing is the technical capability and the complaints. So first thing you have to understand about your ASP is whether they are technically equipped. Are they a member of the PEPAL? Do they follow the PEPAL Pint AE format? Are they locally giving solutions? Are they globally giving solutions for varied types of scenarios for different sectors and different businesses, right? And compliance also. So whether they are compliant with the FTA and they are compliant with global standards like PEPAL and other country standards. The second major thing you have to ask is the integration and support. So in case of integration, you have to find out how easily your ASP can integrate your ERP or your system with the government or the FTA. And the next thing is how much they can reduce the effort on your own teams and your business processes so that the go live is very smooth. And the third thing is the support. So you have to have pre go live, post go live, and a hypercare support after post go live for a smooth e-invoicing and go live process. So integration and support is very important while choosing a vendor. And the third thing is security and reliability. So while coming to security, you have to ensure that the ASP is SOC 2 accredited, GDPR compliant, ISO certified, and other key security certificates are available with the ASP, as well as reliability with your data. E-invoicing data is very sensitive and they have to be encrypted and stored in a secure file, and archival should be of highest standard in order to achieve proper e-invoicing compliance. Right. The fourth thing is business partnership. As you know, e-invoicing is not just a one-time approach, and it's a continuous effort, both from the business as well as from the ASP side. You have to find someone who can have a partnership with for a long period and have a good relationship for upcoming mandates, updations, technological updates, version updates, and as a business expansion and multi-country support as well. And the fifth thing is future proofing. you have to see whether the ASP is future proof and has a solution that is scalable and relevant in the future as well, not only in the present. So these are the five major things that you have to ask your ASP while considering a vendor for e-invoicing. So moving on to the next topic, I wanted to just give a glimpse of what is GETS and how why compliance has created this GETS for e-invoicing. So GETS stand for Global E-Invoicing Transformation Standard. Right. So this GETS is nothing but an amalgamation of all the standards which across the globe for e-invoicing is used, and we have made up a single standard which, if followed, can be easily used for making the business compliant in other countries as well. So the process that Karthik has explained till now, the involvement of different teams and the whole business is taking up this process. This need not be done for every country multiple times for expanding to different countries. We can do this once and then use that data and integration process as a template to go live with other countries easily. So that is one of the main uses of GETS. And the second thing is we have also automated the mapping process of the ERP data with the government the APIs. So this automation is easily available and can be done within few seconds or few minutes and is repeatable as well. So these are the main things I wanted to touch upon for GETS. And what is the impact for the businesses? So with GETS, the implementation time is reduced drastically compared to other vendors. And this GETS can be used to go live with e-invoicing within weeks. If we done properly, the tech team and IT team also will have very much reduced efforts which will be needed for the e-invoicing process. And the process itself will be 10x faster than the normal integration. No manual mapping, no repeated processes need to be done. So these are the few things I wanted to touch up before we finally end this webinar. So we are at the end of this webinar. I just wanted to give you the key takeaways from this webinar. First is that important thing is you have to start early. So with 9 months left for going live, starting from October is a good time for companies to make their teams aligned for e-invoicing. And the second thing is use a phased approach for your teams to have goals, to have milestones, to achieve e-invoicing without disrupting the existing business flow. And the third thing is choose the proper ASP. As I already mentioned, ask those questions and choose a proper ASP, which will lead to a smooth e-invoicing go live rather than a time crunch or a wrong decision can implement this business in the future. The fourth thing is invest in proper training. You have to give proper training and KTs to the end users as well as the teams involved in the e-invoicing process. As e-invoicing is a continuous process, you have to be keep trainings and you have to give KTs in a regular basis in order to improve the quality of understanding in your staff. And the fifth point is you have to have complete clean master data in order for smooth going live and e-invoicing. If you clean up this master data, like 90% of the work is almost done. So the rest of the work, ASPs and ASPs like compliance can easily do it for you and make you go live within weeks. And the last few points are like we have to establish daily project governments and goals and systematic approach for teams to finish the task and complete the e-invoicing requirements inside the business for going live. And the final points are you have to be PayPal ready and onboard your business for PayPal before 2 to 3 months of going live. And then we have to be also prepared for worst case scenarios and contingencies for backup processes and other archivals for e-invoices in order to have a smooth go live process in the coming months. So with that, I conclude the webinar. So thank you everyone for attending this webinar, and we'll have any further questions. If you have any further questions or if you want our support, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be happy to schedule a call and explain more about GETS and tailored solution which we can offer to you. And I again thank you all for attending this webinar and wish you all the very best in ensuring a smooth and compliant e-invoicing in the UAE. So have a great day, guys. Thank you.